First week of April in Texas means it shouldn't be a surprise. We have a lot of weather to talk about. Let's do it in today's edition of the Texas Weather Roundup. All right, good morning. I'm Texas Storm Chaser's David Reimer. It is Monday, the 3rd of April, 2023. One severe weather day down, another two to go at least for the next several days. Not to mention, we got record heat, we've got fire problems, we got wind, and then later this week, we're going to have flooding. So yeah, we got a lot to talk about this morning. Let's get to it. Let's just start with one day at a time, and that's going to be today. So this is the latest Storm Prediction Center outlook for today in terms of severe weather potential. Yesterday we had a level 3 risk for severe storms. Today we are at a level 1. Remember though, these are for coverage, not necessarily intensity. So level 1's the lowest. That means there's about a 1 in 10 to a 1 in 20 chance you're going to have a rowdy storm in your neighborhood later today. And so that's not overly high in comparison to the higher risk levels, but unfortunately today's going to be one of these situations where we may only have a couple storms, if any, but whatever storms form, they are going to have one heck of an attitude. That's why the hail size on this is up to tennis balls. And frankly, if we get a storm going, it may have baseballs size hail. Tornado threat on the very low to low side today, lower than yesterday. And winds, if we do get storms, could have localized winds of 50 to 60 miles an hour. And again, this risk zone includes Texoma, North Texas, Central Texas, South Central Texas, all the way pretty much I-35, San Antonio, all the way up to DFW, and then up 35 and 75 into southern Oklahoma. So we head on over to the North American model. Now this is going to be one of the more ambitious models in terms of storm development and storm numbers. You can see it develops storms in the hill country by 2 o'clock. That might be a bit early. But regardless, once storms go up, if storms go up today, they're going to go up quick. And then they're going to be severe quickly with large hail to very large hail. You can see here that this model develops storms, moves them northeast into portions of central and north Texas. But again, I want you to understand, I don't think any specific high-res model is really going to be doing well with this today. This is just going to be a situation where by this afternoon, we're just going to have to watch visible satellite imagery, look out the window, and see where we might have towering cumulus. And that will give us an indication of where, hopefully, with, a couple hours notice, where we may see a storm bust through the cap and develop. And again, once we look at surface temperatures, I think you're going to understand why we're going to be watching for the cap to break today. This is not going to be like an early April day in the temperature department. This is going to be like a late May or early June day in the temperature department. And again, we'll talk about that here in a minute. But again, main storm time window today, generally going to be 2 to 3 p.m. towards 10 p.m. And that's generally main window probably 4 to 5 up to about 9 p.m. today for a few severe thunderstorms. Not many, but a couple certainly possible in North Texas, Central Texas, the Hill Country, South Central Texas. And again, we're just going to have to literally look out the window and see where we're at this afternoon. In terms of fire weather conditions, today, fire danger is going to be very high across the western third of Texas, behind the dry line. Any fires that get going could spread very quickly and require a substantial amount of initial attack resources. Tomorrow, the fire danger goes up to extreme across the western third to the western half of Texas, with not only major concerns for initial attack activity, but increased potential for extended attack activity and the potential for wildfires to burn uncontrollably into the night, tomorrow night. So tomorrow's going to be a day where we may see wildfires develop. It's going to be a day where, frankly, they're not going to be controllable in some circumstances, and they're going to burn thousands to tens of thousands of acres very quickly in the matter of hours under the right fuel load. So be very mindful of that. That Tuesday has the potential to be a very bad wildfire day across the western third to the western half of Texas, with west winds gusting up to 75 miles an hour, blowing dust. You know it, just like last Friday. And then Friday, the threat for wildfires high to very high across the southwestern half of Texas. All right. So that's for today. In terms of storm chances, wildfire issues, what are we doing? This is why we can't have nice things. Or at least I can't have nice things. So here's the severe weather outlook for tomorrow, Tuesday afternoon, Tuesday night, Wednesday morning. Level 3 risk, which means about a 1 in 3 chance for a few severe storms in northeast Texas. Level 2 risk, eastern North Texas, parts of East Texas, about a 1 in 5 chance for rowdy storms in your neck of the woods. And then that level 1 risk further south. Now, this is still a very uncertain situation, and frankly, there's going to be changes to this outlook for tomorrow, which is why I'm not going to spend too much time on it. But what we're going to be dealing with is two possible scenarios here, at least in terms of thunderstorm development and thunderstorm initiation. Low chance for a few supercell thunderstorms late tomorrow afternoon in eastern North Texas and East Texas, Northeast Texas. If the cap can break, the cap's going to be very strong tomorrow, it looks like. But if the cap breaks tomorrow afternoon in East Texas, Northeast Texas, Eastern North Texas, storms are going to develop very quickly. All modes of severe weather, big hail, big wind, tornado threat. But it is entirely possible, maybe even more likely than today, that the cap is going to hold through the afternoon and evening hours, meaning nothing's going to happen. Until tomorrow night, when a cool front starts pushing into Texas late tomorrow night, if not the early morning hours Wednesday, and we see a line of thunderstorms develop along that front, that'll then be moving to the southeast. And that line of storms could also have some damaging winds, some hail, maybe a few tornadoes. And again, let's get into later today. Let's get some better eyes on just how this is going to materialize. But understand, tomorrow has the potential to be problematic if everything were to come together in northeast Texas, but that is a very uncertain if. In terms of the forecast for... What are we doing? Why are all my keys not aligning this morning? All right, we'll go old-fashioned here. Sorry, apparently I can't have nice tech toys to make my life easier this morning. In case you can't tell, I'm a little tired after yesterday's severe weather coverage. My apologies, but... well, Baldy in Chief is being an old grumpy man. Surprise, surprise. The chance for precipitation tomorrow night with that cool front pushing southeast. You can see highest chances of rain in northeast Texas, but still scattered showers and storms tomorrow night with that cool front. Mainly after midnight, probably, moving southeast across East Texas, the Brazos Valley, eastern North Texas, central Texas, moving south into the Brazos Valley, the Piney Woods of East Texas, south central Texas, closer to sunrise. And then those rain chances spread down to the middle and upper Texas coast, southeast Texas, after sunrise on Wednesday. In terms of forecast rain totals from this morning through 7 a.m. Thursday, highest rain chances, highest precipitation totals between 1 to 2 inches across northeast Texas, the Arklatex, and East Texas. We could see a pretty good dose of 1/4 inch to 1 inch rains along and east of I-45, generally from near Corsicana to the city of Houston, and then lighter rain totals back into the coastal plains, the middle Texas coast, the Victoria Crossroads, in central Texas. And then things get interesting when you add in Friday and Saturday, because, well, we're going to be getting into a very wet pattern. It's been quite a while since we've gotten to have the pretty colors on the rainfall graphic, but understand, pretty much Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, it's going to be wet along the East Texas, Upper Texas coast, the Golden Triangle, Southeast Texas, the Brazos Valley, the Middle Texas coast, Victoria Crossroads. By the weekend, at least by late Friday night, some locations in Southeast Texas may be looking at 3 to 5 inches of rain. And it's going to still be raining on Saturday and Sunday, so those totals may be closer to 4 to 7 inches of rain by the time we get into Sunday night, Easter Sunday, which obviously would result, even if this rain fell over a several-day period, at least in terms of flooding, we would likely start seeing rises on creeks and streams. So it's time to start thinking about your hydrological meteorology. We haven't gotten to talk about flooding in a while, so hey, you know what? It's April. That is what you expect. We'll be keeping an eye on that and talking more about that as we get closer into the late week and past the next couple of days of stormy mischief. Now, high temperature forecast for today. This looks more like late May or June. Record high temperatures in several spots likely today. It's going to be in the 90s. Pretty much almost across the entire state of Texas. Unless you're in far west Texas, the borderland around El Paso, it'll be in the 80s. It'll be in the 80s in the Texas Panhandle. Everyone else, it's going to probably be in the 90s, except the Edwards Plateau around Laredo, where it's going to be 102 to 105 degrees. Keep in mind, we're going to have high humidity values across the eastern half of Texas east of the dry line. Heat index values probably about 10 degrees above the actual air temperature. Like I said, that's why we're going to be watching to make sure the cap doesn't break today, and it probably is going to break in a couple spots because it's going to be hotter than a hot dog. I am not happy we're dealing with upper 90s in early April. My bald head cannot handle that. No, sir. So we head into Tuesday. High temperatures a little cooler, but still plenty of 80s and 90s across the eastern two-thirds of Texas. Still near 100 degrees around Laredo down in the Edwards Plateau. You can see we're starting to actually see some cooler temperatures comparatively across the Panhandle, West Texas, and the borderland, where we're going to have 1, widespread blowing dust tomorrow, 2, a very dry air mass behind the dry line. So even though temperatures are going to be cooler, the moisture is going to be non-existent. It's going to be horrifically dry, blowing dust, wildfires. All that blowing dust is going to get pushed east. There you go. It's going to be hot again tomorrow, and it's going to be quite windy across all of Texas, just like last Friday. Here's Wednesday. Now, we do finally get to cool down as that cool front pushes through and knocks temperatures back down to where they should be for early April. Highs only in the 50s on the Panhandle, low 60s in Texoma, 60s DFW. So that's a drop of about 20 to 25 degrees. Highs 70s all the way down almost to the coast, and then we're going to have 80s in South Texas. Here is Thursday. Guess what? Even cooler. How about this? Houston, you're going to be 65 on Thursday with a good chance for rain. It's going to be about 30 degrees cooler than this afternoon. 40 degrees if you want to count the heat index. Same thing goes for San Antonio. Check out temperatures in the Edwards Plateau, where temperatures today could be close to 105 degrees. 66 to 67 on Thursday. That's going to feel good, and it's going to be raining. So again, lots of rain, cloud cover across the southeastern half of Texas Thursday. And guess what? Here's Friday, even cooler. Temperatures struggling to get out of the low to mid 60s, widespread cloud cover, high rain chances across at least the southeastern half of Texas, but the entire state of Texas, really high temperatures, low 60s to low 70s. So contrast that to today, and again, here's today, here's Friday. We're going to be 30 to, in some cases, 40 degrees cooler when you count the heat index. And fortunately, because this isn't February or January, this isn't a drop from like 60 degrees to 20 degrees or 40 degrees to 5. So with all that being said, yeah, we're going to be a bit busy this week, but you know what? It is the first week of April in Texas, and we certainly have had our share of severe weather mischief and fire weather mischief over the years in the first and second week of April, and it looks like we're going to remain active. So again, just like yesterday, if need be, we're going to have live severe weather coverage this afternoon and this evening if storms end up getting rowdy. Same thing for tomorrow. We're also going to have storm chasers heading up to Iowa and Illinois tonight to chase another potentially significant tornado outbreak on Tuesday in the upper Midwest, with the chance for severe weather all the way back into Arkansas and Tennessee, just like Friday. Although this time the higher threat for tornadoes does look like it's going to be in the upper Midwest, Iowa, Illinois, portions of northeast Missouri, versus it also extending back down into Tennessee, Arkansas, etc. But we're just going to have to wait and see. But hey, you know what? These are the times that we weather weenies don't sleep. So that being said, we'll have the next regular Texas Weather Roundup out by 6 a.m. Tuesday. And we encourage you to subscribe to us on YouTube. But we also thank you for watching us on whatever social media platform you're using this morning. All right, we will be seeing you.